Welcome to Carol and Gary's See America Tour. Hello again, everyone. Well, since Carol and I have visited other state capitals in our travels, we decided to check out Arizona's state capital in Phoenix this week. Arizona has had an interesting history leading up to its statehood on February 14, 1912. As you may remember from our second week in Tucson, the Gadsden Purchase in 1854 bought land from Mexico for $10 million to allow a southern transcontinental railroad in the United States. But as we found out this week, the Arizona Territory was not always laid out as this picture indicates. Prior to 1862, as this early map of the Arizona Territory shows, the New Mexico Territory was made up of present-day northern Arizona and present-day northern New Mexico. The Arizona Territory was made up of present-day southern Arizona and present-day southern New Mexico. In 1863, the U.S. Congress made Arizona a territory and realigned the boundaries of Arizona and New Mexico as they are today. At the same time, Fort Whipple near Prescott, Arizona, was named Arizona's first territorial state capital. In 1864, the territorial legislature moved the capital to nearby Prescott. In 1867, with the Civil War over and Tucson being more developed with more resources, the territorial legislature decided to move the capital from Prescott to Tucson. In 1887, the territorial capital moved back to Prescott. In 1889, the territorial legislature decided to move the capital to Phoenix, which is halfway between Prescott and Tucson. The primary reason for this move was to gain recognition in their quest to achieve statehood. The territorial government moved into the Phoenix City Hall while a permanent state capitol was being constructed. The new Capitol building was completed in 1900 at a cost of approximately $136,000. Initially, the dome, which you can't see very well in this video because of the sun, was light gray, but it was covered with copper in 1975. Additions to the building in 1919 and 1938 added an east wing, which would be behind this building. The State Senate, House of Representatives, State Supreme Court, and the governor all had offices in the original Capitol building. George Hunt was the first governor of Arizona, serving a total of 7 terms, along with presiding as the president of the convention that wrote Arizona's Constitution. We were able to see the original House of Representatives area, but the Senate area was blocked off and used only for private events. The first female Chief Justice of a state Supreme Court was Lorna Lockwood, who served in Arizona in this building from 1965 to 1966, and again from 1970 to 1971. Retired U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor is also from Arizona. She was nominated by President Reagan in 1981. She served on the U.S. Supreme Court until 2006 when she retired. I referred to this building a couple of minutes ago as the original state capitol building. In the 1950s, there was discussion of moving the state capitol to a much larger facility to accommodate the growing assembly, but after much discussion, the legislature decided to add 2 buildings, one on each side of the present capitol, one for the House of Representatives and one for the Senate. By 1975, the Capitol building was again running out of space. In response, several additional buildings were built nearby in what has become a sprawling complex of state buildings, all within easy walking distance of each other. The original Capitol building was evacuated and has been turned into a museum. A large section of the museum was dedicated to the lengthy process of writing the state's constitution. We saw a wooden replica of the battleship USS Arizona, which was sunk at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. A section of the USS Arizona's hull and its flag were on display in the museum. One of the ship's anchors and a massive anti-aircraft gun were on display outside. Also outside was a large collection of statues paying tribute to fallen servicemen of all wars, to firemen, and to other first responders. One statue is dedicated to the Navajo Indians who developed an unbreakable code that was used during radio communications during World War II. Well, this completes our tour of the Arizona State Capitol, which has now been turned into a museum. The Capitol, while not one of the more ornate Capitol buildings we have visited, appears to have been very functional in its day.
While Gary was editing this video, I was busy with a group of women in the RV park learning how to quilt. This quilting group doesn't teach quilting. They're a group of approximately 20 women who are part of a large group called Arizona Blankets for Kids, who have been making small quilts and donating them to the ill and traumatized children in Phoenix area since 2001. Over 112,000 quilts have been donated since the program started. Finished quilts are turned over to the local quilting shop and then distributed through the local hospital, police departments, and other agencies dealing with children. The lady in the lot next to me and some of the other women in the quilting group are helping me learn to quilt so I can help them make quilts for kids.
If you enjoyed this video but have not yet subscribed, please do so to be notified of future videos and feel free to share with your friends. Thanks for watching.